What's up, you meatbags, and Merry Christmas. It is the often imitated, never duplicated Tony TG. This is the special Gabbing with Geeks
Mm-hmm.
Christmas Extravaganza. Of course, I'm being joined by my man Carl, Santa
That
Sack, aka Obsessive Compulsive Gary, and of course, Blinded Braille, rounding out the fourth spot.
and I don't know about anyone else, but I am that snowman melting, reindeer slaying, stocking, burning Carl Claus.
Ooh,
Whoa.
Merry
Whoa.
Christmas, everybody.
I was getting worried there for a second. I thought he was gonna tell us that he didn't care about
No.
no frog because Carl came with the big Yule log.
Oh, jeez.
So, gentlemen, normally
Mhm.
when we do this, I ask you how your week's been, but this is Christmas. We gotta step up our game a little. So, Carl, why don't you tell us what are your plans for Christmas this year? What are you gonna be doing?
Celebrating Christmas with my family, watching movies, stuff like that.
Now, you can elaborate a little, Carl. What are you gonna be eating? What's on the agenda for dinner?
I think we're doing Chinese food tomorrow.
Chinese food on Christmas? That's a
Yeah.
weird one. What do you
Well, I
usually order?
mean, we're celebrating the birth of the savior of the world, so,
Yeah, no better way than Chinese, I guess. What do you usually order? Kung-Pao chicken?
Will it be the first time you're introduced to duck?
Oh.
Oh no, we're not nothing like that. We're like the Chinese buffet.
Oh, no cat, I guess.
No, I don't know. I don't
I'm
think so. At
joking.
least
That was a bad joke.
I don't think so. At least
What about you, Gary? What's the Christmas plans?
So obviously, Christmas in the morning. We're gonna go and head over to my father's house and spend the day with him, and then Sunday we're gonna head off up north to her parents' place and meet up with all her family and enjoy the rest of the time with them. So we'll be busy.
That sounds like fun. And of course, the young man on the panel, Blinded Braille, is probably going to be picking up chicks and stuffing stockings. What are you playing, Blinded?
I'm gonna just hang out with my friends and my family on Saturday. I don't like to do a lot on Christmas. I just like to chill. Hopefully it snows here. That's another thing I want, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I hate the snow. I used to love it as a kid, but then I got old and I hate being cold. So no snow. I'm glad it's not snowing here.
You got to have a white Christmas. There's nothing like a white Christmas.
Like I said, I'm old.
I mean,
I don't like the cold.
If he wants a white Christmas, he can come over to my place. We're pretty white.
But for me, I will be celebrating Christmas with the family. Me, Sidekick Max, my parents, my brother, his wife. It'll be a nice little get together, watch some movies,
All
eat some
15, all 15 of your kids.
Ooh, I only got one that I know of.
Okay.
Carl throwing the jabs.
Yeah, there might be some other little Tonys out there, but none that I know of. None that I'm aware. Now that we got the intros out of the way, now that we've discussed what we're gonna do, we need to start talking about some of our favorite things. Some of our oh shit! Hold on, guys. I think somebody's here. I think we have a guest.
What the hell?
Oh man.
Hold on. No, let me. Right in the middle of this. How are we gonna have a guest right in the middle of this? What the hell is this?
I don't know.
Hello, everybody. Nice to see you. Yes, I'm Sasha. I know everyone is expecting Saggy, but unfortunately during the holiday season, reason she has to work. Because one thing we know about working retail, you don't get to celebrate anything. Yeah. But anyways, I'm here to wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays, whatever you celebrate. Yes, around this time of year. Yeah. And I hope you guys have a great one. Enjoy it with your loved one. And yes, you know the internet's not a real place, you know, and everybody's always fighting. But around this time of year, everyone should get along and enjoy each other's company and be merry because we're all getting free stuff. Yes. Hopefully you don't get one of me for a Christmas present. Yeah, nobody wants me for a present. All these kids these days, can you imagine a kid would rather get an Intellivision Amico instead of me for a gift? Yeah. Anyways, much love to you. Happy Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Yeah. Yeah, I'll see you guys next year, okay? All right, I'm gonna go get some milk and cookies. Bye!
Oh, man. Well,
Oh,
what the hell
no.
was that? Got puppets invading the show?
I think
This Christmas is out.
I think she means MILF and cookies, but whatever.
And I had to drop the Amico. I had to drop a reference to the Amico.
Ugh.
We get a little happy holidays to everyone from Saggy Melons.
Well, thanks, Saggy, and you have yourself a Merry Christmas too.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Saggy.
Yes. Merry Christmas.
Thank you for dropping by, Saggy and Sasha. We hope you have a Merry Christmas. And hopefully, we don't get many more interruptions on the show. I don't know if we can handle it. But the first thing I want to discuss was what was your favorite Christmas gift growing up? You know, what was that one childhood gift that you really remember that you'll never forget? It's a timeless childhood memory. And of course, we're gonna start with Carl. What's that big childhood gift of yours, Carl?
I guess the Sega Genesis.
Ooh, Sega Genesis.
And was that release year Sega Genesis?
It was the one that came with the Sonic 1 cartridge.
That sounds like release year.
Probably.
So why was the Sega Genesis so special to you, Carl?
Well, I mean, you know, quite a few of my favorite games of all time are on it. Shadowrun, Phantasy Star 4, Phantasy Star 3, Sonic and Knuckles even.
I mean, Sega did what Nintendo didn't, so.
I think Sega does what Nintendo don't.
I know what it is. I couldn't say that, though.
What about you, Gary? What's your big childhood gift? What was the one thing?
I mean, throughout the years, we were pretty spoiled. You know, I could go and say that the year the Super Nintendo came out, that was something we got, I think, in '91. A couple years later, we would go and we get the Sega CD, which a lot of people didn't have, and I think that was in '93. But I think the biggest year was '94, and '94 was special because it was kind of a multitude of gifts, and I can't really nail down one particularly, but '94 was special because, well, just to lay it down before I go and say what it really was, me and my brother would always go around, and we were snoopers. We'd always go and try to see if we could see what we got for Christmas. And
baby.
Yeah, we came across our parents even knew. It got to the point where our parents knew we did this, so they would try to hide it in like the most ridiculous spots. And I remember going into the garage and actually popping my mom's trunk. This is how bad we were. We popped they would hide the Christmas presents in the trunk of the car, and we still ended up finding them. But one year, '94 was during Power Rangers. I think Power Rangers was like '93 to '94. And '94 was kind of, I think, on the second season of Power Rangers. So for that year, I had ended up asking for a white Tiger Zord. And
you got that?
And that was one of the gifts that I snooped and I actually seen. Well, I had actually seen probably about 5 or 6 gifts, and I was super excited to get my White Tiger Zord. But Christmas morning, I was super surprised because I thought that the only thing that I really wanted was the White Tiger Zord, but I was surprised with not only the White Tiger Zord, but 3 other gifts that had blown my mind because I didn't even see them when we were snooping. And the other ones were the Tor the Shuttle Zord, which I don't think at that point in time, I don't know if Tor was ever revealed on the show at that time. So I was totally blown away. And I didn't even know what it was. I was like speechless. I was like, what's this? You know, I hadn't seen it on the show at that point. So that was a huge gift. And the following 2 gifts were Mega Man X3 and Mega Man 7, another couple of games that I had no idea about. So in total, it was like 4 really solid gifts. And those gifts, like, they're imprinted in my mind. That Christmas morning was probably one of the biggest and most shocked Christmases I've ever had and probably will ever have. So that was a really special Christmas for me.
Ooh, sounds wonderful. You know, I was always a huge Power Ranger fan, but I never actually was into the toys, which is weird. What about you, Blinded? What was that big childhood Christmas gift?
When I got kicked out of my house and I had to play in the snow. No, I'm kidding. It was the Wii. Obviously, because I'm younger. That was the generation that I grew up on. But this was like the first time I actually got a big new console for Christmas.
Now, was that the year that came out too? Because I know the Wii's were kind of hard to find.
It was like maybe like a year later. I don't remember exactly.
What made
I just remember getting it, you know.
What made the Wii so interesting is it also came with a built-in GameCube player.
Yes, I didn't have a GameCube growing up, but I did get a Wii, and so I think the first game that I got was Twilight Princess on the Wii, and that changed my perspective on gaming in general. Because before, you know, I was like 7, so I was like really young, and I don't really pay too much attention at that time to playing games. Like maybe on my DS, but you know, it wasn't as special as playing on a home console. At least that's how I saw it when I was a kid, right? So, kind of experiencing the motion controls and everything. I'm playing with, you know, my friends and you know, some of my cousins that came around that time. You know, it's always Christmas when you got a new console, in my opinion. But yeah, it just always stood out to me because the Wii it just had those Christmas vibes. I'm not sure why as a console, because I guess you get to play with everybody and stuff. But
and I think that's the thing. I think because most of the Christmas, like I said, Super Nintendo and Sega CD, those were very memorable Christmases. When you get a console, there's nothing like getting like a, you know, something that everybody's trying to look like wants to get and is looking for, and you finally get it, and you finally get those games to play, and you're sitting there like kind of like all day just kind of enjoying your new little toy. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my folks always tell me I have to pick something for them to give me for Christmas. And I was telling me they don't have to give me anything. You know, so it's, you know, I just find something that I want that isn't expensive these days.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I could, I'd trade all the Christmas presents and all the great years of Christmas, to be honest, if I could spend one more Christmas with my mother. So, you know, as you get older, it's a lot tougher. I miss my mom during this time, especially because Christmas was always a big thing between me and her, and you know, so you know, it kind of sucks, but
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
I guess the point is you don't, like Carl says, you don't need all the fancy gifts as long as you're spending it with your family.
Yeah, that's more the sentiment. That's what I remember. You know, if I had to have good memories, it wasn't just the presents; it was the people around me. So,
all right, Tony. Let me guess. Your favorite Christmas present was a Tommy gun.
No.
Oh man.
I want you guys to picture this. I have a older brother who's about a year and a half older than me, and whenever we would get Christmas presents or stuff, we'd always share. We grew up on the Coleco. We had to share that. We grew up. Then we got a Nintendo, an NES, and we had to share that. It was both of ours. Everything was always both of ours. And being the younger brother, I'm always getting hand-me-downs. His old shirts, his old pants. My parents like to recycle. So we're going into 1990. The Super Nintendo was coming out. I really want this thing. It's the hot toy. Everybody wants it. But my brother wants a Genesis.
Oh.
So begins the weeks-long struggle to try to convince my brother to get the Super Nintendo. It's going to be better. It's got Mario. Come on, we don't even know what's on the Genesis. We grew up on the Nintendo. Get the Super Nintendo. But he won't budge. He wants the Genesis because it's a little edgier. He's a year and a half older than me. He wants the little edgier. Well, my parents said, you guys got to decide. What do you want? Do you want the Genesis or the Super Nintendo?
Blast processing.
Yeah. and, we're going back and forth. And eventually they say, well, if you guys can't decide, we just won't get you either one, right? We can't play favorites. So we just won't get you a console this year. And neither one of us budge because we're both hard-headed. If I can't get the one I want, we're not getting anything. So Christmas comes, and we're opening the presents. Get the toys, the little Transformers, the clothes and underwear.
You get to the bigger boxes.
No bigger boxes. There's
Oh.
It's a sullen Christmas. That's it. And then parents say, well, you guys are happy with the stuff you got, yeah, how the kids do. Yeah.
Did they pull a Christmas story on you?
Face.
Yeah. Because all parents do this, right? So
not mine.
I did it. My parents did it.
Most parents. I've been doing it.
And then, as we're gathering our stuff up, they said, well, wait a minute. There's 2 more boxes here. What do you mean there's 2 more boxes? Yeah. Santa must have put them in there behind the couch here. You didn't see them? They pull out these 2 boxes. They give one to my brother and they give one to me. And he rips his open and it's a Sega Genesis. And I'm shitting myself because I'm like, damn, if he's got a Sega Genesis, this box is either going to be stuff for the Sega Genesis because they screwed me over, or there's a Super Nintendo in this box. And gentlemen, there was a Super Nintendo in my box. No games except for what came with it, Super Mario World.
Well, damn it!
Happier than ever.
That is a great story. I think you took this. I think you take the king of the stories here.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree. Yeah, it's
that's fantastic.
I love that Super Nintendo. It was the greatest thing ever. I played it all Christmas Day. When you're a little kid and you grab your hot toy and you take off to your room to play it, and your parents got to call you back. Hey, come get the rest of your stuff. You left all this other stuff. Pick up I don't care about that stuff no more. I'll play my Super Nintendo.
The real question is did you have 2 TVs to play it on, or did you have to share one TV?
No, we had 2 TVs. We actually had TVs, small TVs. I had like a 19-inch TV.
Oh man, we had to share. That's one thing we definitely had to do most of my life. We had to share the same TV, me and my brother. And so I became an expert at daisy chaining RF cables.
No, luckily we had separate TVs because we had separate rooms at that point. But yeah, that was the best present ever. It was the first video game system that was mine. It was all mine, gentlemen. It's my Super Nintendo. It wasn't our
That's-
Super Nintendo. It's mine.
That's awesome, dude. There was nothing like playing Super Mario World on Christmas Day.
It blew my mind. It was oh my god, the best game ever. Still holds up. I still love Super Mario World. Still one of my favorites.
Have you beaten Super Mario World?
I beat it. I flipped it. I got all the Star Road. Did it all.
It's not an easy game to beat.
No, it's not. But so many hours. And that Super Nintendo brought me so much joy. Opened up my world. Started playing RPGs on it. Final Fantasy games. Sim City. I can go on. I can go on for hours just talking about how much I love my Super Nintendo. Still have it. It's faded. You know how the Super Nintendo's got all discolored.
Oh yeah, it's all yellow
Yeah.
from the fire retardant stuff that they put in the plastic.
Yeah, from the stuff in the plastic and my parents smoking like chimneys.
Mm-mm.
I've seen
Still-
motherboards that had been that were used by smokers, so I know that's got to be a mess.
Now, as great as it was to tell that story, as great as it was to hear your guys' story, I have a surprise. I have a little special treat for everybody watching. I reached out to several people, asked them the same question. What was your greatest Christmas gift? And we're going to hear from these people, starting with Gen X Gamer.
Thank you for the invitation, Tony. Well, let me talk about my favorite, and I mean my favorite Christmas gift of all time. And that was the Atari 2600, because it actually changed the course of my life. It really, really did. It turned me into a bona fide nerd. Instead of running around the streets of East LA, I was stuck at home playing Pitfall and other great games, Combat, so many things. And it really, really made me look at technology in a very different way. Before that, everything to me was just math and I didn't like it. But when the Atari came along, I saw technology as entertainment. And because of that, I, grew to love science. I grew to love college and learning and just being driven to learn more about those things, whether it came, especially when it came to computers. And because of that, my life took a very, very different turn. Thanks to my aunt. God bless her soul, man. She bought me something that she probably couldn't afford at the time, and she made that sacrifice, but I am so grateful because it only didn't change my life, it changed my family's life, because computers and video games became a great part of my kids' childhood, and it really entertained us, in the tough times and in the good times. But man, I'm telling you, if I could go back in time and just wake up one more time and open that box one more time, man, I thank my aunt for that gift over and over again. But I don't think I could. There's some things you can't ever thank somebody for. And that one gift changed my life, so I try to pay it forward. These holidays, guys, there's a lot of people out there that need help. Maybe you're having a great time, but maybe you can make a difference, like somebody made a difference with me. That's why I give to charities. And if you guys can, hey, go ahead and help somebody else. Maybe you will give somebody the best Christmas gift they ever had. All right, humans, thank you. And I really, really want to wish everybody a Happy New Year, a Merry Christmas, and celebrate all your holidays safely, hopefully with a game. Take care.
What's going on, everybody? So, Tony, you want to know what my favorite Christmas gift is, huh? Well, it's kind of a tough one. I've been thinking about it the past few days, and kind of hard to narrow down because man, I've had a lot of awesome Christmases growing up. My parents always made sure to make them real special, and a lot of great gifts. A lot of great gifts out there. I remember one year I got a really nice bike. That was awesome. One year I remember us getting a trampoline. That was that was pretty fun. Couldn't really use it a whole lot then, even though the temperature wasn't as bad down in Georgia during the winter. So you could get out a little bit. We really couldn't enjoy it until the spring. But man, we played on that thing for years. That was a great gift. Got a real big race car set one time. I remember, like a remote control race car set, and I remember peeking down the stairs, and I could see. I got up. My parents thought I'd gone to sleep for the night, and I got up and I was peeking down the stairs. I could see my dad assembling the race car set. It was one that went up the wall, so I already knew that night. So it didn't even ruin it. You know, it didn't even ruin Christmas for me. It was just awesome getting it. I was pretty young then too, but I would have to say my favorite gift that I ever received. I was 5 years old. My dad bought me an Atari, and it wasn't the actual Atari. It was the Sears Telegames version, and I'm pretty. 83 was right there in the middle of the collapse of the video game market. So I'm sure he got a really good deal on it. I imagine that's why he probably got it. But man, it was the coolest thing ever. It was my first real experience with video games. I mean, I had kind of experienced them a little bit in arcades, but nothing in the home. Because I didn't have any older brothers and sisters, so it was the first video game that was in our house. And my God, I love this thing. It was really cool. It was like my first big boy gift, you know what I mean? And because not only that, but I've got a TV that got to go up in my room because of it. So at the time I felt so cool having that. And like I said, I still own it to this day, and it's packed away somewhere. And when I get my game room all ready the way I want it, I'm going to have it out and hooked up to that TV. It's a little old black and white TV. That's what I had to play video games on, an Atari on a black and white TV. I did, however, that Christmas Day was cool. My parents let me set it up downstairs on the bigger color TV. But after that, I played that thing on a little black and white TV. Eventually, I did get a color TV, but it was literally right before I got my Nintendo, which I think I got that. I think I was like 8 or 9 when I got that. So I gamed on that Atari for a good 4 or 5 years, because I'm pretty sure I didn't get a Nintendo till 88 or 89 or something like that. That's what I played on, and just the fact that it was one of those gifts that was just so, I didn't ask for it, and I didn't even know that it was something I wanted. And when I got it, it was just such a cool experience, and I was so happy. I was so happy my dad got that for me, and it's kind of one of those things that I never wanted to get rid of it. I kept it because it brings me back to that day of getting it. And my dad and I played a lot on the Atari as well. It came with Asteroids, and I'm pretty sure he got me Donkey Kong and Pac-Man. I'm pretty sure were the games that came with it. And then over time, I bought more games for it, but I'm pretty sure those were the games that I got on Christmas. I played the heck out of, and Space Invaders. I'm pretty sure it was Space Invaders too. Because I remember I played those games. I played those games so much, and I just love that system to death. But yeah, I'd have to say, Tony, it was my Atari that I got from my dad. That was definitely my favorite gift. Great memories. Merry Christmas out there, everyone. Hope you have a great weekend. Take care.
Season greetings, rap bands. It's the Ramblin Man from the Duck Pond. One last time this year. This place has served me well this year. It's a place to de-stress. And I certainly have. With me and the lads down at the Duck Pond. And lasses. So I'm making a little video because Tony's asked me to make a video about a happy childhood memory or a favourite gift for Christmas. And I was sport rotten. I've got too many to choose from, really. Not all of them gaming. Probably, if you're going to ask me, my first ever dog. It's probably my favourite ever Christmas present. I'm going to stick to gaming and think of a gaming one. Christmas 1981. Most of you not even born at that point. I'd enjoyed consoles at that point. Arcades. Games. Loved it. But 1981 saw the dawn of a new future, especially in the UK, where home computing started to suddenly take off. And it had been a tough year. My dad had taken on 2 or 3 extra jobs to get things done. Something you don't really appreciate until you get a bit older and you have kids of your own, grandkids. Just the effort that he put in to making Christmas special. And my mum, obviously. But I didn't expect a lot. It'd been a tough year. There was always food on the table, new clothes, warmth, electricity, that kind of basic stuff. But yeah, we didn't have a lot of luxuries that, around about that time. So I wasn't expecting much. I don't think I even asked for much. But I got downstairs and I saw a glint in my dad's eye. And sure enough, the future was in a box. It was called the ZX81, which is the most basic home computer you could ever imagine, but meant the world to me. It was literally the future in a box. Came in a kit form, which was good because my brother was handy with the soldering iron. Saved us 20 quid. And with that 20 quid, my old man got me a 16k expansion pack, which I know doesn't sound like a lot now, but in them days was an absolute must if you wanted to play decent games on the home computer. Imagine that, 16 whole K of RAM. So he was canny, my dad. He got my brother to build it for me. And he spent the rest on something I needed. Very smart cookie, my dad. You couldn't get me up it all day. It was black and white. The games were pretty basic, but pretty good. Galaxians I remember having on day one. And a couple of others. 3D Monster Maze. Look them up. They're good stuff. And that was it. Started making my own games. Making music on my computers. Still have a PC, obviously. It was just the future in a box. It was Tron. It was everything that I liked as a kid, sci-fi. So, I guess that was a special one for me. I remember that so fondly, that whole Christmas. I think because we didn't have a lot, we really enjoyed it. And that's the thing about Christmas, you don't need a lot. Family, friends around you. Laughs, good times. Everything else, just a bonus in it, really. So, I hope you all have a great holiday. Thanks to everybody who's been watching me over the course of the year. You've been a really help. It's been a difficult year for everybody, so let's enjoy it. If we're allowed to, let's enjoy it. Whatever you do, I hope you have a great time. Much love from the Ramblin family.
If you lived through the 80s and played video games, there was something wholly unique about that era that has largely been lost for decades. One where evolution could be witnessed in real time, and the contrast between games that cost $0.25 per round versus those for the home that could be purchased and played for a flat rate seemed miles apart. Yet that very experience drove us to dream about what could be possible moving forward. I can still recall the first game I ever played, a custom 2-player cocktail cabinet of Miss Pac-Man, and nothing else really came close back then. To this day, it remains one of my all-time favorites. I spent a fair amount of time playing classics such as Pole Position, Tempest, Galaga, Night Driver, and a ton of pinball. These were my introduction to video games. So, when I was later introduced to the Atari 2600 and Apple II, I had fun, but I wasn't impressed. The arcade experience was just better. And it wasn't even close. Through most of the 80s, I wasn't as interested in home gaming systems and spent most of my time in the arcade, something I was able to do about once a week. I was so out of the loop as far as home consoles go. I knew my brother was saving up for an NES, but knew nothing about it until he finally made the purchase in 1988. He had Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, Double Dragon, Super Mario Bros., and a few others. I was completely blown away. Growing up, I didn't get along with my brother, and that meant playing on his NES was an uncommon affair, but watching him play on the only TV in the house was not. These games were not the single-screen, forgettable affairs so common on early home systems. These were full-blown arcade-like experiences, some of which were able to offer gameplay and mechanics not possible outside of the home. While my brother wasn't willing to share his games, he would let me use the system if I rented one, and eventually I ended up purchasing my first home console game for a system that wasn't mine. That game, the original Mega Man. I later acquired Contra, and that would be one of the first games to really bring us together while having fun in a cooperative spirit. So for Christmas of 1989, there was only one thing my sister and I wanted, an NES that didn't belong to my brother, and my parents delivered. On December 25th of 1989, I became 50% owner of this very NES Action Pack with a freshly updated orange zapper. It's a system my sister and I would bond over, and that relationship would move to other consoles such as the Super Nintendo, where we spent a ridiculous amount of time playing NBA Jam. The NES was a gateway, and though the gaming experience I was truly after wouldn't be delivered until the Genesis, the NES was the way in. For nearly 30 years, my sister and I passed this system back and forth. But she started losing interest in games around the N64, and by the time the Wii left the market, so had she. About 5 years ago, she gifted me full ownership of the system, along with her remaining games and consoles. Our childhood NES is one of my most prized possessions, and one of the few items I would be unwilling to part with, regardless of the circumstances. Christmas wasn't what made having the NES special. It's the memories associated with it, and the way it changed how I viewed gaming at home. I always worked odd jobs to save money and purchase things I wanted, and would have eventually saved up for the NES and purchased it myself. But by receiving it as a joint gift, I built a bond with my sister where we gamed together on a weekly basis until she met her future husband. Those are memories I'll always cherish, and ones I'm unsure we would have had it not been for our NES.
Hey everyone, so I was asked by Tony what my favorite childhood memory was of getting a certain Christmas gift. And it was during the 80s when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and one year all my family from across North America came to where I lived, and it was a big deal. And all my aunts and uncles and cousins, everyone, they pooled together and bought each of the kids larger gifts. So my gift, I saw the Christmas tree, was huge. It was like the size of myself. And I remember tearing it open, and what I saw was the most coolest thing in the world. It was the General Lee from the Dukes of Hazzard. It was like a car, like a pedal car, and it was complete. It looked just like the one on the show, and it had the horn and everything.
I thought it was time for Jimmy to have his own car. Isn't he a little young? The Dukes of Hazzard.
It's General Lee.
Don't forget your cookies. The General Lee has electronic starting and motor sounds. And when you blow the horn... Hey, it's the Dukes of Hazzard!
General Lee!
The General Lee is a great first car for your kid. Jimmy! Jimmy! But I tell you, once he starts driving, he'll never want to stop.
And I thought that gift was awesome. And I had fond memories of playing with that toy. And what we usually would do is, in the driveway, we'd create a little ramp, and my friends would push me from behind to gain, extra speed as I was pedaling. So I had like top speed. I was like going super fast, and I'd hit the jump, and as I hit the jump, I'd hit the horn. I have an actual video of it if you want to see it. Check this out. It was just like this. I'd be flying and yell, "Yeehaw!" And that was great times. And also that same year, I had a second large gift, and it was a giant box once again. I tore it open, and it was the Castle's Grayskull from He-Man. And with the castle, they had almost all the action figures that went along with it. It was awesome. So for overnight, I went from having no cool toys at all to having like a ton of He-Man toys.
What do we have here?
It's Castle Grayskull.
And it's mine.
Not so fast, Beastman.
He-Man!
You can pit He-Man against Beastman playing for the power of Castle Grayskull. You have to put the castle together.
Beastman's escaping.
The throne, Dad. Dad, you saved the castle.
Castle Grayskull from the Masters of the Universe collection. He-Man and Beastman each sold separately from Mattel.
And that totally raised my street cred, around the neighborhood. I was the place, if you want to play He-Man, you come to my house. And I had many, many great memories playing with those toys. And what saddens me is when I was older and I was like 20 or 21 and I moved out, my mom asked, hey, do you want all your old toys? And I said, nah, I don't want all that stuff. I don't want to carry that along when I move to all these different places. Do whatever you want with it. So my mom ended up selling them all for like basically nothing in garage sales. And now looking back, I regret selling them because, well, they're worth a lot of money now. And plus, they're pretty cool. But I always will have those memories and I'll never forget about them. So I hope everyone has a great holiday season.
My favorite childhood Christmas gift was probably an NES. Like earlier that year, I played it for the first time over at one of my friend's house. He had Ninja Gaiden and Super Mario Brothers. So as soon as I played that, I was hooked. He went away at some point that year, and I got to borrow it for a while. And then I was just playing Ninja Gaiden and Mario all the time. So that was like the one thing I wanted that year. I wound up getting it with Super Mario Duck Hunt and I believe Donkey Kong Classics. Actually like a decent port of those games. I also think I had like that year that stick, the Advantage, which that was like not a good fucking peripheral. I know a lot of people like still love that peripheral. The Advantage was basically like the NES controller, but in like a arcade stick form. It was cool, but like it was not the most practical thing for the overwhelming majority of NES games. I don't know if you ever tried playing Super Mario Brothers with a joystick. No. But otherwise, NES is fucking awesome.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Show. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever been tricked by your parents on Christmas Day? This happened to me on the Christmas of 1992, at the crazy young age of 7. Now, I was already living it up with my NES console prior to this moment in time. However, sure as 1992 rolled on, so did the growing hype for the new hotness on the street. Any kid that was in the States knew that hotness as the Super Nintendo. Of course, I had to ask my old man if I could have this brand new magical device. How could you not? And truth be told, I got shut down every single time I asked. Sorry, son, it's too expensive. When he said this, we were at our local Toys R Us as people were just getting ready for Christmas. Shoot on over a couple months to Christmas Day, and we had our morning. Opening up the first few packages, I received some clothes, and a couple of Hot Wheel toys and Transformers, then more clothes. I thanked my mom and tried my best to show appreciation for what I was given. However, just before I got started playing with my toys, I could hear my old man upstairs. Son, there was something else Santa forgot to put under the tree. I'm over here thinking like, oh, for real? He walks down the stairs with multiple boxes in his hands, then drops them in front of me, asking me to open up the largest one first. I turned to that box and I ripped that thing open. And what was under all that wrapping but a heckin' Super Nintendo? I just remember toppling over the smaller boxes and jumping into my old man's arms. I jumped down, then tore through the next couple of boxes. And you couldn't believe what I got from this. Super Mario World, Pilot Wings, Super Mario Kart, Ys 3, freaking Turtles in Time. All of this in one shot. Why? When? It was a dream come true. It definitely sits in my mind as the best Christmas ever. And that, my friends, is my favorite Christmas story. With that said, I'm kicking it back to Tony. Peace.
All right. I want to thank everybody who sent in videos. I really
That was
appreciate it.
absolutely fantastic.
Love the stories. Always, like I said, like Show said in his story, parents, they like to trick their kids. They like to pretend like they didn't get you that one big gift. They want to get you down, get you sad before they bring you up and make you the happiest kid on earth.
It's called oppression.
Oh,
Whatever
man.
it's called, Carl, it works. I will have links to everybody who participated in a pinned comment on the video, so you can go check out their YouTube channels. They are all good content creators. I did ask a few others, but unfortunately things didn't work out. It is a busy holiday season, so no hard feelings to any of those. I don't want any of them thinking that there's a hard feelings, because there is none. It is a happy season, and we're all happy here. We're all smiling, enjoying this Christmas. One of the things that is really Christmassy, that really brings out the holiday season, is the music. Christmas music starts earlier and earlier every year. I think I heard some Christmas songs in like June this year, because people really needed that holiday cheer. So I'm asking you fellas, what is your favorite Christmas songs? Carl, let's start with you. What do you love to listen around this time of the year?
Let's see here. I like Joy to the World, Little Drummer Boy, Do You See What I See? Those are my top 3 favorites.
So you like those like good original classic Christmas songs?
Yeah. The Christmas church songs, or the
big classic churchy songs. What about you, Gary? What are your favorite Christmas songs?
Well, I like what Carl likes. I like those churchy kind of Christmas songs, but my mom and my stepdad would always, once December started, it was Christmas CDs in the old CD player blasting almost every day until Christmas, and then all the way into the new year, and then kind of cut off, right when we jump into January. It was done. But growing up, I know this is going to sound funny. I might have been the only kid that was ever taken to a John Tesh concert, and I actually enjoyed him. He was fantastic. John Tesh did I believe he did the original music for the NBA, the old NBA theme. But he did a lot of music, and I'm always a fan of Carol of the Bells, and that is one of the he has a version. John Tesh has a really good version of Carol of the Bells. My mom's favorite version of that was David Foster, and that is probably my favorite version of Carol of the Bells is David Foster. So Carol of the Bells is definitely my top all-time favorite Christmas song.
Lovely. What about you, Blind Bro? You're a bit on the younger side. So
yes, I mean, I've heard all of those songs, and they're nice and stuff, but I really like Christmas parody songs. I think they're hilarious, and
ooh.
And as a kid, like singing some of them, like the Batman one. That as a kid, we used to always sing that and like troll people. Yeah, the Robin laid an egg and all that stuff.
I think my favorite Christmas parody or the Christmas comedy is Chucky Got a Chainsaw for Christmas.
I don't think I've ever heard that one.
How does that one go?
It's like I can tell you a few lines. It's like Chucky got a chainsaw for Christmas. It's about the same guy who did Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer.
That might be a Kentucky thing.
I don't know, maybe.
Anything else besides the parody songs, Blinded?
I'm forgetting some, so I'm gonna just leave it at the parody song. Those ones are funny.
Or another one of my favorites. Let's do the pants off of Santa.
I've never heard
That's
that.
a legitimate song. I promise. It's a legitimate song.
Carl's bringing the classics. So, Tony, what's your favorite Christmas song?
Yeah.
I have a very, very love-hate relationship with Christmas songs because I used to work retail. And anyone who's worked retail knows that they play 3 songs over and over again for your 8-hour shift. And the song that they would always play at the particular place that I worked was Simply Having a Wonderful Christmas Time. And they would play this over and over again, like almost on a loop.
Yeah, Tony, I think I worked at Toys R Us in 2004, and that might have been the same CD that they sent out to retail stores.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I remember that. I worked in retail myself, and they did play that a lot. I just happened to develop an affection for it, so
yeah, well,
I'm weird like that.
After a while, at first, it's a little catchy, and you're like, yeah, it's a good song, and then you heard it about 50 times. You're like, man, I hate this song.
One of Christmas time.
And then by the 150th time, you're like, this is a good song again. You're like, you're rocking out to this, having a wonderful Christmas time. You're ready. So that song, although it annoys me to no end, it does have a little special place in my heart just because I've heard it so much working retail. And of course, being the only Hispanic on the panel, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Feliz Navidad.
It's a great song.
It is. It's so happy, upbeat.
You know what that song reminds me of is if anybody remembers, there was a Sesame Street special with Big Bird skating around the rink. I believe it was Feliz Navidad on that one. And that one that always reminds me of that Sesame Street Christmas special.
I don't think I've seen that one.
My favorite Sesame Street Christmas special is the one with the Muppets and Sesame Street.
I think it was the special where Bert trades his crayon box for a thing for the rubber ducky, and then Ernie traded his rubber ducky for crayons or something like that. So they both kind of got rid of their favorite things, but they both got like presents to go for their favorite things. It was kind of one of those sad, bring a tearjerker ones.
I think that's based on a story. Isn't that like an O. Henry story?
I think so.
I saw a Disney version of that.
Well, let us know in the comments what's your favorite Christmas song. Now, there is a new Christmas song that could be your favorite, could become your favorite, because once again, one of our fans, one of our colleagues, a man who's been on the show, on the panel before, Tommy Ouyamico, has created a special Christmas song just for the show. Yeah, and we're gonna play it. Hopefully, it's not too spicy. He said it's a little spicy, so if you got young kids, you might want to have them leave the room. I'm not sure. We're taking this trip together, folks. This is Tommy and the Amicos.
Doop 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 doop. I'm dreaming of a long console, just like the 12 I currently own, where the games are completed, the haters are defeated, and I'm chilling like Alvarado. I'm dreaming of a long console with every hairy piece
Tommy Ouyamico, on behalf of Tommy and the Amico, reminding you to have a happy holiday season. Have a Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Festive Kwanzaa. Have a fantastic winter solstice. Have a great day just going to work and making extra money. Have a great day sitting on your ass at home by yourself. And reminding you that doxing is not okay. Harassing people is not okay. You do not need to call the events with threats. That is a waste of time. Pro-Amico, anti-Amico come together in the spirit of being against threatening other people and being against causing harm. Everyone, please chill out.
Wow, that was fantastic.
I used to have hearing.
And that was from Tommy and the Amigos. As you can see, we're revealing here for the first time ever the album cover done by Plays with Wolves for his album Inverted Controller. We will link Tommy Ouyamico's channel in that pinned comment below, so you can check him out. He does some good parody videos. A little bit spicy sometimes, but always done.
It was family friendly. It was good. Good taste.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was laughing. You should have seen the smile on my face when he had that 5-hour podcast.
Yes, that was hilarious. Oh my god.
Good times. Well, I think it's about that time we really discuss something that everybody's always arguing over. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie, gentlemen? Because I think
no,
it's not a Christmas movie. It's 100%.
It is not a Christmas movie, and I can back it up.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's not a Christmas movie. While it takes place during Christmas, it just doesn't have the same spirit as something like A Christmas Story, National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. The greats. So I'll agree with that one.
I mean, can I be a little blunt here?
Just a little.
I mean, it's one of those things where someone wants to believe they're a tree. That's and people just go on with them, and that's what comes to mind when I think of whatever the person did the screenplay for this or whatever it is. That's just what comes to mind. It's not a Christmas movie because, yes, Christmas is some part of the driving force, the focal point, but not all through. But it's not consistent.
What do you think, Blinded? Is it a Christmas movie or not?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree. I mean, I don't watch it around Christmas time. I mean, it's a nice backdrop, but it's not about Christmas, so.
No.
Yeah.
Wow. 4 people. We did not plan this, folks, but all 4 of us agree it's not a Christmas movie.
I mean, one other person agrees with us too. Bruce Willis.
He would know.
Bruce Willis does not consider Die Hard a Christmas movie.
We have Bruce Willis waiting in the green room. That would be something, right? That maybe next year. Maybe next year, guys, we'll get Bruce Willis on here.
I got a quick question. Was the tape that he used at the end of the movie to tape the gun to his back, was that Christmas tape?
No, I don't think so.
The gun would have fallen off. The
So
Christmas
if Die
tape
Hard
is
isn't a Christmas movie,
no.
then I got to ask, what is your favorite Christmas movie, gentlemen? Carl, what are your favorite
Ooh.
Christmas movies?
You know, I have 3 that come to mind.
Everything's in threes with you, but go ahead, Carl.
My absolute favorite is Mickey's Christmas Carol. Then my second favorite is Muppets Christmas Carol. And the last is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Ooh, 3 solid choices. What about you, Gary? What are your favorite Christmas movies?
Obviously Carl just pegged one, and I mentioned both. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation has to be my favorite, simply because it's probably the most quoted Christmas movie of all time. I mean, there's so many one-liners that you can, pull out, and they're hilarious, and the movie just stands the test of time. Obviously, go ahead, Carl.
Well, I'll tell you, my favorite scene is when Clark Griswold is on that sled and he's
zipping down for the land speed record. But yeah, I mean, nothing beats it. There's just so many parts to that movie. You can't go 5 minutes without just laughing your butt off.
And it's consistently Christmas from beginning to end.
Right. It's a blast. I'd have to say that growing up with my OCD, and TNT would like to play A Christmas Story 48 Hours. I'm the sadistic guy that would sit there and have it on for 48 hours and watch it for 48 hours. So Christmas Story definitely comes in on probably number 2. It's been around since I was as long as I can remember. I believe it was made in 86, I believe. So it's about as old as I am. And I haven't gone a Christmas without watching at least 4 to 6 hours of that movie every year since I was a little tyke. So that would definitely be my second. And then third would probably sit somewhere along the lines of Christmas Carol. Obviously there's so many different variations of that. And I couldn't really, narrow it down, but that's definitely, I like all the variations. So those are my 3.
Solid choices. The best line in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is when the cousin is emptying his
Eddie.
Yeah, when Eddie's emptying the
sewage.
The sewage. Shitter's full. Just standing there in the middle of the street. Yeah, it gets me every time. Every time I see that scene, I just bust out laughing. That and when he kidnaps the boss, that's always.
I knew it. I knew you were going to talk about that scene. I knew it.
Well, it's one of the best scenes. Come on. Everybody who's had a shitty boss treat him like that. That scene just speaks to you.
Man.
I wish I could just
and what's funny is when the boss told the wife about it, I could swear she's like, I can't believe you did that.
What about you, Blinded? Once again, the young man on the panel. I'm sure you have High School Musical, the Christmas version or something.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I agree with Christmas Story, but this one is a troll one, and I do watch it. Star Wars Holiday Special.
Oh, the Christmas special. That's great.
Wow.
That's fantastic.
You like that on purpose? Cool.
Yeah, I like watching bad movies on purpose. Yes.
I mean, not too many people like those.
It is.
I think a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people like it, but I like it ironically because it is just so bizarre. It is so weird. Especially the whole Wookiee. Yes. All of that is bizarre.
Well, it's what happens when you're trying to capitalize on a popular franchise.
Yes.
Yeah, but
I mean-
what would possess you to shoot an entire like 10 to 15 minute segment of nothing but Chewbacca noises?
Yeah. And the
mean-
Chewbacca little baby was creepy.
You're giving the people what they want.
I mean, I someone
They
had to
Grandpa
like
Chewbacca
it. So
watching an adult film.
Oh.
I mean, someone had to like it. So
I'm kind of hoping next year, the Guardians one it's probably going to be decent, but like I wish it was like bad on purpose. It would be hilarious.
I thought you were going to say you wanted a sequel to the Star Wars Christmas special.
No, I was saying that Marvel's making the Guardians of the Galaxy like holiday special. So
That ought to be
hopefully,
interesting.
yeah,
I mean,
hopefully it's funny.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. I mean, they haven't. That's like a kind of like a thing of the past. When is the last time like major franchises or whatever have sat down and made holiday specials?
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen at all.
Yeah. And believe it or not, I do not like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
No. I actually am sick of that movie. Yeah.
I mean, he is the subject of so much harassment and never got one single apology.
Oh wait, I have another one. This does count as a Christmas story. I mean, a Christmas movie, because it does not count as a Halloween movie. The Nightmare Before Christmas. I love watching that movie.
Actually, the Nightmare Before Christmas, and I was talking about this with a good friend. It's a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie.
Yeah, sure, but I prefer watching it on Christmas.
Oh yeah, I mean, people have different motivations for watching movies, so yeah.
We actually watched that last night, and last night was the first time that I've actually sat down and watched that in its entirety. And my girlfriend wants to kill me because she loves it, and I've never really sat down and watched it all the way through.
My favorite part, and I know this is kind of weird, but my favorite part is the ending when they all sing the "What Is This" song.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's just so they're like, what is this? What is this? They're all amazed about the snow. And Santa says, Happy Halloween. And Jack says, Merry Christmas.
Took him 3 years to make that movie.
Yes. It was well worth it.
I could believe it.
Well worth it.
Yep. It was pretty good. Just to touch on that, the Rudolph, though, there was another Christmas movie that's really good. And I know a lot of people love like the Santa Claus, the trilogy of those movies.
Oh,
I think Santa Claus 2 is a fantastic movie. The thing that I always found weird, and as a kid, I never really kind of understood was the why, in the Santa Claus, why Rudolph was missing from the movie. And obviously it makes sense to me now because of licensing issues and whatnot. But as a kid, you don't you don't understand that Rudolph is owned by somebody, and unfortunately, Disney didn't want to pay to have Rudolph in the movie. But I always thought it was great that they have Chet in the kind of place of Rudolph.
Actually, I want to modify my list. So, Mickey's Christmas Carol, Santa Claus the movie featuring Dudley Moore, and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Well, Carl just stole one of my movies because I was going to say Santa Claus the movie.
It's a great movie.
For kids of the 80s, it was Santa Claus the movie. This is the real Santa Claus. This is it. This is the true story, gentlemen.
It's the ultimate Santa origin story.
And it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It is a terrible, terrible movie. Watching it as an adult, but as
it's not a terrible movie. It's just okay. How is it terrible?
But I still love it. Special place in my heart. But I think it's a bad movie.
So it's the Amico of Christmas movies, is what you're saying.
Pretty much. My next favorite is the Rankin Bass Santa Claus is Coming to Town stop motion.
Oh,
movie.
that's a good one. That's a good one. If I were doing runner-ups, I'd definitely put that one in there.
I love it. It edges out the Rudolph stop motion one just a little bit because you get the Santa Claus origin story. You get the winter guy.
Rudolph.
What's the winter guy's name, Carl?
Winter Warlock. That's literally his name.
It's got great music. It's just an all-around fun movie. It's very enjoyable.
I also just remembered another one, Jingle All the Way. That movie
yeah, that's such a good movie.
Yes. I love the cookie scene with Arnold. That is hilarious.
Or I like the Giant or Big Show or whatever the hell you want to call him nowadays. But
Sinbad.
When he goes, I'm gonna deck your halls, bub.
Yeah, Jingle All the Way is definitely good. And I think for my third movie, I'm gonna say Elf.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm with Carl on this one. I never understood. I don't think it's a bad movie. I think it's one of his worst movies. People kill me on this one, but I never really loved that movie at all.
Will Ferrell is terrible in general.
No, I love Will Ferrell. He's got a ton of great movies, but that movie was just. It's because of Will Ferrell's comedy that it's for me it's disconnected. Like I love his comedy, but in that movie, in that setting, it's just so bizarre. But I think that's why people love it so much, though. It's just different. It's a different breed of Christmas.
He tries to do the same thing. He tries to do the screamy routine that Adam Sandler does, but really fails at it.
No, I love that movie. I think.
Well, like I said, someone had to like the movie.
Yeah, if you ever watched the SNL skit where Will Ferrell is doing like the cheerleader,
I've never seen Saturday Night Live.
Well, that's basically Elf.
Yeah, that's basically that character in a nutshell.
Well, to be fair, I mean, I don't know what channel it's on. I don't know what time it's on.
I didn't think Elf was going to be the divisive movie. I mean, I do love National Lampoon's. I didn't want to say the same movie as everybody.
No, I didn't say. I'm not shaming you for liking it. I said, someone had to like it.
All right.
No, a lot of people love Elf.
Since Elf is so divisive, I'll add to my list. I'll amend my list and say Ernest Saves Christmas.
Ooh.
I love Jim Varney. He was a national treasure.
Ooh, I love Jim Varney.
Has anybody seen Harold and Kumar, the Christmas movie? That was fantastic.
No, I haven't.
It's a little adulty. A little.
It was a good one though.
Yeah.
I can't go with that. It's impossible for me to not think about White Castle every time I think about Harold and Kumar. So I don't watch their movies for that reason.
Yeah, when they get into the claymation part.
Either way, yeah. Elf is fantastic, despite what my panel members here say.
Hey, I didn't disagree.
We're not shaming you for liking Elf, okay?
Hey, I did. We can't all be yes men.
Oh, man.
If you want to like it, go ahead, okay? It's not the worst decision ever.
Ernest Saves Christmas, fantastic movie.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't say it's the best Ernest movie, though.
No, that belongs to Ernest Scared Stupid.
I was going to say
Ernest Goes to Jail. They're like they go back and forth. Those are like the two best.
No, you're all wrong. I'll tell you the best Ernest movie. Ernest goes to camp.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that.
That is the best one, especially at the end. with the where they're going against the construction crew.
But here's the thing. I think with Ernest Goes to Camp, I think the production value and what they put into those movies started to come around with Ernest Scared Stupid and Ernest Goes to Jail. I think those were just better, more quality in the movies, in those two particular movies. Ernest Goes to Camp is probably the third best Ernest movie, but there's a lot of you can tell it's just kind of it needed a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think the Ernest Goes to Camp focuses a little too much on the non-Ernest characters.
I mean, you get plenty of Ernest.
Yeah, and where's Rimshot?
There's a lot more Ernest movies than I even knew.
Oh yeah, Ernest in the Army. Ernest Goes to Africa, I think.
Yeah, I didn't see Go to Africa. I didn't see Slam Dunk Ernest.
I will. I'm gonna have to look for a. I'm gonna have to look for an Ernest collection. Damn.
Yeah, there's a ton.
Ernest Rides Again. How did I miss all these Ernest movies? I love Ernest.
I don't know. I have no idea how I missed them.
The TV show, Hey Vern, It's Ernest.
And yeah, and we even all the commercials and stuff that he did. We actually just picked up a collection that had all the commercials and all the little odds and ends that he did. Jim Varney did a lot of work.
Jim Varney was incredible.
Oh, he was. Jim Varney. It was the what I'm looking for, the prototype for Jim Carrey. He could do drama. He could do comedy. He could be violent looking. He was an all-around Renaissance man, if you ask me.
Yep.
Okay.
Plus, he's the voice of Slinky Dog, and you can't deny him that.
I have no idea what a Slinky Dog is, to be honest.
Toy Story.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
Slink.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about now. Yeah. I don't know that.
How can you not know that? It's so recognizable, the voice.
I don't know. Okay, it's been a while since I've seen Toy Story. Toy Story is not one of those movies I exclusively I watch.
Man.
Also,
I'm just weird like that.
So, either way, Jim Varney, national treasure. If you haven't seen Ernest Saves Christmas, I recommend it highly. Now, we've had one musical number on the show. We've heard Tommy and the Amigos sing their lovely Christmas song. But there's a member on this panel who has a voice of an angel. It's like you'll be transcendent to a new plane of understanding by hearing
it's definitely not me.
Well, so Carl, can't be me. Really? Me? Okay, all right.
Would you be so kind as to sing something for us, Carl?
Okay, sure. All right, ready.
Greetings, folks, and Merry Christmas. Now, Santa personally asked me to sing something which celebrates the birth of Jesus in typical fashion. All right, you ready? Here we go. For he's a jolly good savior, for he's a jolly good savior, for he's a jolly good savior. Someone which nobody should deny, someone which nobody should deny, someone which nobody should deny. Now, I know, it's not a typical Christmas song, but still, we are celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, right? Right. So, you celebrate his birth in whichever way you wish. And be safe, happy, merry, and best of all, Thank you very much. Bye.
That was the greatest song I've ever heard, Carl.
Masterpiece. Masterpiece.
Thank you.
Oh, come on, guys. You don't have to lie to me. I know it was awful.
Awfully good.
Yes.
It was better than what you wouldn't want to hear my singing voice.
Oh boy. Oh no.
So I think it brings us to something I thought about on the fly here. We can talk about, but I have to actually get out of distance of the 5-year-old before I go and talk about this. So I want to pose the question, and you guys can answer. So, when was the first time, or when was it that you found out that Santa wasn't real?
I think
Carl,
later on when my childhood years.
like later on, how old would you say, Carl? 4,
Well,
5?
let me put it this way. I was definitely a teenager, and I knew Santa was not real, so.
Fair enough. How about you, Gary? You proposed the question.
So this would have been back probably when I was 5 years old. I found out at an early age because, my parents thought it was a good idea that, me and my brother were like, can we sleep out in the living room by the Christmas tree? And they let us, and I didn't fall asleep, or I did fall asleep, but I distinctly remember kind of waking up in the middle of my parents bringing the presents from the basement up to the tree, and it just kind of all hit me like, wait a minute. Like, I didn't, there was no story to tell me. It just kind of instantly clicked at that age that I kind of knew was like, that it was a sham, and my mom would say years later that, ask me if I believed, and I said, obviously, yeah, I believe, because it, Santa's that, spirit inside your heart that's just like that you just don't let go of, all the things that kind of, family and spending time and all that good stuff. So obviously I found out at an early age, but I keep that spirit alive that, obviously, Santa's real in a sense.
What about you, Blinded?
Okay.
When did you discover the big secret?
At I was probably like 4 or 5. Okay, I never really believed in Santa all that much, but my parents still entertained it. But one Christmas, how you're supposed to put out cookies and milk, for Santa.
Yeah.
One night I had to go use I put up the cookies and all that stuff. My dad told me to, and then I went to bed. But I had to use the washroom in the middle of the night, and what I found was very devastating. My dad sitting on the balcony drinking the milk and the cookies. And that was the day I stopped believing in Santa Claus. He purposely told me to put out those milk and cookies for himself. And a 5-year-old should not be seeing that. That broke my heart.
It would have been, it would have been funny as hell if you had slipped a laxative into the milk.
Oh my God.
That'll learn you.
Yeah, and since then I never believed it again. I already had my suspicions, but yeah.
I mean, up until like the 20th century, it was just the Saint Nicholas, but 20th century came, that's what the Adventures of Santa Claus.
For me personally, I think it was probably around 5 or 6. I don't remember exactly, but I do remember little things were starting to not add up. We didn't have a chimney or a fireplace in the house that we lived. So I was wondering, how was Santa getting in the house? There's no chimney. Oh, he's coming through the front door. He's coming
Well,
through the window.
they explained that beautifully in the first Santa Claus.
Well, that movie wasn't around.
Right. I know. They would later explain it very good in that movie.
Yeah, they did. But so like little things. And like Blinded said, Santa's favorite brand of cookies happened to be my father's favorite brand of cookies.
And very sneaky.
Yeah, very, very, very suspicious. But I think, it was one of those situations where we kind of knew, but we just all pretended. We went along to make our parents happy. Of course, these are from Santa. Of course, Santa has the ability to make Nintendo at the North Pole. He's not getting sued by anybody for copyright infringement for making these toys that have stickers from the local, supermarket and stuff on them. So yeah, so I think 5 or 6, we kind of figured it out. We didn't really officially announce it until maybe we were like 8 or 9. Everyone just kind of pretended. And I think I remember my parents giving us the whole, well, if you don't believe in Santa, guess you're not going to get any presents this year. So, yeah, we stuck around with the pretending to make my mother feel good for a couple of years. Now, Sidekick Max. Oh, I think Sidekick Max pretty much always knew there was no Santa. Just because, Santa Claus was leaving presents at our house, his grandmother's house, his uncle's house, his grandmother's, and his mother's side's house. For some reason, Santa was dropping presents everywhere. And he was always curious why. But right before he figured it out or formally came out and said, there was no Santa Claus, we went and bought a Santa hat. And we waited till Max fell asleep. We put the presents out. And we opened the door and we put the Santa hat in the door as if Santa caught it on the way out of the house. So for about 6 months, Sidekick Max would hold on to this hat that he believed was Santa Claus's. And he had to have it because he had to give it to him back next year. So that was his experience with Santa. So I think eventually he figured it out that wasn't the real Santa hat, seeing how it had a made in China sticker on the inside.
I mean,
Geez.
think of it this way: Santa is a master of manufacturing deals. He's getting Nintendo to make their systems and all the other, and they're shipping them to the North Pole. Then the North Pole loads them onto the teleporter pad, and puts in a name, and there you go. That's where it ends up.
Yeah. We didn't believe in teleporter pads. We didn't believe in that, but
you didn't think that Santa had a reindeer, did you know? He flies a starship.
This is possible.
So I have another good story to share, and I don't know if any of you guys do the Elf on the Shelf, but when I first met my old lady, and the first year I spent with them, she already had a bud. I think his name's Buddy. They call him Buddy, or maybe not. Maybe that's what the oldest named the Elf on the Shelf. He named him Buddy. Okay, so for few weeks just before Christmas, we had moved him around the house and done with what you're supposed to do with the elf on the shelf. And I thought it would be funny to set him, I believe he was somewhere near the Xbox. And I forget what he did and what I made it look like. But we had come back one night, and because we don't live in the greatest of areas, and I'm close to the great city of Detroit, unfortunately in my duplex, we get creatures from time to time. And coming back from the wherever we were, coming back that night, he was sitting on the Xbox. Well, right near the Xbox was a present that the oldest had got from a friend at school, and the present had it was something with slime in it, or I can't remember the entire thing. Well, a critter had gotten in and chewed through the egg or whatever, and the slime went everywhere. I don't know what this thing did, but it dragged it everywhere. And when the oldest got upstairs and looked, the elf on the shelf was blamed for destroying his toy that he had got from his friend at school. And he actually thought that it was him, and I didn't have the heart to tell him that it was a critter that got in and destroyed his toy that he had got from school. But I thought it was pretty funny.
They're called gangbangers, not critters.
Whoa.
That's
getting spicy, Carl. Getting spicy. Yeah.
Little too spicy. But no, it was like a mouse got in or whatever and was gnawing at whatever was in the thing and had gotten it open and dragged it everywhere. But the oldest was devastated. He was like, "Buddy, how could you? You ruined my toy I just got." But it was kind of comical. It was kind of sad at the same time. I felt bad for him because he had just got it from his buddy at school. But I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, we don't do Elf on the Shelf. I think that was
we definitely don't do Elf on the Shelf.
Whoever invented Elf on the Shelf, that they made bank.
Elf on the Shelf is for this. Elf on the Shelf is for the same kind of people who want the Amico.
Hopefully you guys have been entertained. Hopefully we kept you company on this Christmas if you had nothing better to do. We just wanted to show our appreciation to all the fans, to all the people who supported us through the year. We're going to be going strong next year. We're going to be going a little bit harder, making more content, doing more live streams, generally bugging you with all the notifications you're going to be getting from our channel. But we do appreciate you guys watching us. We do appreciate you guys commenting, having discussions, being civil. So I just want to say Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. I don't know, is it Merry Kwanzaa, Happy Kwanzaa?
Merry Christmas, Hanukkah.
Whatever you celebrate, or if you don't celebrate, I just hope you have a
Happy Life Day. Happy Life Day. You'll get the reference.
And if you got nobody, you always got us. You could always listen to us bicker, act a fool, or just be goofy. You can always count on Carl to be in the comments and talk to you. And I appreciate everybody on the panel for joining me on this wacky ride. Thank you guys. Anything you want to say, Carl, before I get all mushy?
Be safe and happy.
Santa Sack, Gary, any last word?
Yeah, thanks for having me as usual. It was a joy to see Ninja Kitty and Tommy Ouyamico and Gen X. I think Gen X spread a very good message that hey, this could be a little bit of time, or a special present for somebody could mean the difference, especially in 20, 30 years. So just be safe out there for the holidays and try to enjoy it with some family, and we'll see you into the new year.
Now remember,
Happy holidays. I haven't been talking much, but I appreciate everybody on the panel, especially Tony for letting me on. And hopefully in the new year, things get interesting. I'm just hoping that next year is much better.
Yeah, be safe, everybody. Take your precautions. We don't want nobody sick. We want everybody to survive into 2022. Hope you have a happy, safe holiday. And you know how we ended on this channel. Love, peace, and holiday booty grease.